Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. Happy Friday the 13th. Are you guys superstitious? Let me know in the comments, because I'm generally not, but just now something went wrong right as I was about to start the episode. Pretty much as soon as I fired up my recording software, I use OBS, by the way, in case anybody still doesn't know that, I got timed out by the DV server, so I ended up going offline, and apparently I'm still online, and now if I try to log in, nothing is working. So, yeah, I'm going to have to ask somebody, one of the admins for the server, to reset and see if that changes anything before we start today's episode. But yeah, there was also, it's a really nice day today. Today's really sunny, and it's been really sunny the last couple of weeks. The weather in the UK seems to have been changing for the better. It's starting to feel a little bit summery and warm. I'm wearing shorts, which is pretty awesome. But today is also the day that everybody and their mum seems to be out mowing the lawn. And first thing this morning, when I wanted to start recording a bit of stuff for this episode, two guys were out there operating one of those cherry picker kind of personnel lifts, and it had an alarm on it whenever it moved, which sounded like a police siren. It was kind of ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to get going and try and get the admins to reset the server, so hopefully we can get on and record some gameplay for you. See you guys in a minute. Okay, we're back. I actually got on the server this time, and the outside of the museum has not changed all that much because I've been doing a lot of work on what's going to be the interior eventually once anything kind of gets put together. Most of it is pretty much as before. Most of the work has been done up ahead in the main hall, but I added in a couple of features to the kind of entrance staircase. I wanted to have some kind of booth somewhere where you could like buy tickets and stuff, but I think that's probably going to be part of the main hall eventually. But here we go. We've got some of my almost what are my trademark, or were my trademark at one point, armor stand cases on here. I don't have one on this side yet, just because I don't have the second set of diamond armor, because I can't really afford that with the diamonds I have right now, but I'll do a bit more mining. We'll get there eventually. Donation box is still here, but no longer accepting donations of quartz because the Ender Dragon skeleton is done. You probably saw the start of it in the last episode. This time it's completed, and I even have some quartz to spare, which is very nice, but I really like how this came together. It's pretty much exactly how I put it together in creative. I adjusted the ribs slightly so they curved inward instead of just sticking straight down. It made a bit more sense that way, even though the Ender Dragon doesn't really have a rib cage, so technically it doesn't really make sense anyway. But I figured it was going to look better that way, and it turned out really good. The other thing I've done, I've started on the walls around here, and I'm going to finish those off hopefully today. In today's episode, I'm going to do a little bit more building off camera. The other thing I've done is create this kind of balcony that you can go left or right to head up here, and then you can cross over the top of the doorway in the middle here, so you can kind of view the skeleton from a bunch of angles. That's the idea, because otherwise you'd just be looking up at the belly of it and you wouldn't really get to see it in its full glory. You wouldn't get to appreciate the fact that I put little details like the glass panes on top there, that kind of thing, and you can kind of spot the dispenser in there. Eventually, once we get some dragon breath, which as you saw from the last episode we couldn't get whilst we were over in the end, then you'll be able to dispense lingering potions from that, and I'm thinking that's either going to be a player-activated thing, like you'll press a button and it will dispense one, or the way we worked it out on the live stream when I was making this, I think it was Honor Robin suggested this, if you have a dispenser down here, or you just have a button underneath there that you can shoot with an arrow, then it will trigger the dispenser in there remotely, so you could have this thing on a timer or something like that, like a slow timer, so it dispenses a lingering potion every couple of minutes. Either that or make the dragon display kind of interactive that way. But yeah, I think there's probably going to be some kind of bedrock portal style thing. Obviously I can't get hold of bedrock because I'm not a creative admin, and they probably wouldn't let me have it anyway. Not that I'm about to cause trouble with it, but you know. So I made it out of cobblestone in the creative world that I had. I think that looked pretty good. If we have it to scale with the dragon, it's going to be a little bit bigger than your standard bedrock portal as well, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out for us. But yeah, I figured we would do something kind of end themed in here, and once we get all the walls completed and stuff, I can start putting in my little kind of patron signs and stuff. Oh, I need to put those pistons back in here. The pistons are still my block of choice for obscuring light source. That big cherry picker thing is back outside of my house, so you might be able to hear that rumbling in the distance. No worries if not, though. Why can I not place a piston underneath this? This is the Friday the 13th curse, is my inability to place pistons. There you go. There you go. Got it. Lovely. There we go. Right, so I'm going to continue working on the walls. Just wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going so you can see the progress for the end of this episode. But I'm liking the way it's come together so far. I do want to change up these kind of scaffold structures that are holding up the walkway a little bit, because I feel like they're kind of plain right now, and I don't want to just spam stone brick everywhere, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, so that might come a little bit later on if we adjust those. Don't know if that's going to be in today's episode or by the next episode or something like that, but we're going to make them look a little bit different, a little bit more interesting, and I need to figure out what on earth I'm doing with the floor and the ceiling in this place. No clue whatsoever. I think it's probably going to curve inwards a little bit, so I'll have more like a domed roof or something like that, but domes are a pain, you guys. Domes are a pain. So, yeah, we'll see. It might be more of like a barrel kind of shape or something. I don't know. It's early days yet. It's early days, and anything could change at this point. But I'm happy with this wall design. I think the wall design came together pretty well, and I'm looking forward to putting in the rest of it. So I'm going to get on with that. Thank you guys for hanging out for this first little section of the video. I will see you in a bit. So, wall's pretty much done. Wall's pretty much done, apart from some trapdoors around here. I've already got a few left over in my inventory, but I will have to make a few more. Trapdoors are MVP for detail. You guys know this already, but I absolutely love the things. And that is why everyone likes to take the mickey and build trapdoor greenhouses at spawn. I am totally going to turn that into a greenhouse, by the way. Not spawn, what do you call it? Farhaven. That's the one. So yeah, I've been mucking about with a couple of things. I did this central thing underneath the dragon, kind of to represent the end. These are actually coal blocks instead of obsidian, but I like the way coal blocks look these days. I don't know, I've been using them quite a bit, kind of using them here and there. They've got this kind of blackboard feel to them, I guess, which may be not quite what you want, but still, I think those were kind of cool, and I didn't have any obsidian to hand. Might just swap them out with obsidian later, you never know. But yeah, this kind of landscape thing to represent the end, just a few kind of rolling hills, and the bits around the outside, I think, kind of make it look a little bit more manufactured, like it's just been kind of dropped in here as a diorama or something, which I really like going underneath the dragon, and it saves the fact that I can't actually do anything with bedrock, having the bedrock portal under there. But yeah, that's that. I've changed up the scaffold kind of thing for the walkway a little bit. I'm not sure if I like this or not. I might try a different type of wood for the fence gates down here and maybe take that out or turn that into a fence gate as well. I'm not quite sure. I tried putting a fence in the middle of here. It just doesn't look right because these fence gates don't really attach to fences when they've been lowered by the walls. But yeah, I like this a little bit better than that, but it still doesn't quite look right to me. I'm not quite sure what I would change about it, so I'm going to muck around a little bit. Let me know if you like this better than that, or if you like just the plain kind of stone brick thing better, and maybe we'll come to some sort of compromise, I don't know. And yeah, I want you guys to get involved a little bit more with like how stuff looks and what you think I could do, what you think I could change. But I'm liking the way this is going so far. The walls are looking great. I still have to add in some more pistons above the lights around here. Do I have any pistons? I think I probably have a couple left in my supply chests. And then the walkways are going to go around the room, and there are going to be a couple of exit points on this upper level here as well. So this is going to be like a multi-story structure. But then we have a giant doorway leading that way, a giant doorway leading that way, and we'll probably have a couple in the back wall. The back wall is probably not going to be exactly the same as this wall here. I don't want the room to be completely symmetrical. I just thought that was a good way of organising it for now. And I have a sheep farm down here. Hello, fellas. I will have to move them at some point. I always do this. I start up a thing where I'm like, let's farm some sheep, let's have some animals in here. It's like with the horse that I had around here for a while, with Tugboat, who is still back at Farhaven because I have a nether portal now, so I don't necessarily need him to go back and forth as much. But every time I put something somewhere, I immediately end up building there and then have to move them, and it just gets a little bit frustrating. So I might relocate the sheep to somewhere else. Let me just quickly see if I have the pistons in here. Yes, I do. Good. And I also need some leaves. Yes, got those two. Fantastic. We'll pop in the bed for a second. Who are you to tell me when I can sleep? I can sleep during the day. So, yeah, we've got to pop in the pistons, and I don't know still what I'm going to do around the outside of the room, but I do need to finish off this kind of railing sort of bit around the outside in the stone, because that's going to provide the foundation of where the next floor starts, at least for this structure. And obviously the museum itself is going to be a kind of more winding and labyrinthine place. It's going to be kind of huge and is going to stretch over a lot more of this kind of plains biome. We're going to start putting in exhibits and stuff. We're going to start putting in different displays, going to start making different rooms, and there's going to be exhibition rooms and stuff as well eventually. So this is going to be a massive structure. This is going to be really, really cool once it's even partway done. Like, it feels like one of those projects that I don't think will ever be necessarily done, because it will kind of be ever changing. Once we have the whole building in place, we can do a bunch of really interesting stuff with the interior and just keep the content changing from day to day. But people have asked, am I going to go and do some other projects and stuff? Am I going to go and build like a base of my own that's not the museum and stuff like that? Yes, I probably will, because the thing about building something this large is that you have to come back to it every now and again with fresh eyes. You can't just plug away at it for ages and ages, because eventually it just feels kind of stale and you don't really know what you want to do with it anymore. So I'm trying to balance the time I spend here with the time I spend over at Farhaven. And right now I have a ton of inspiration for this project, but you will probably see me bounce around a little bit more once I've been here for a while, and while I need to kind of take a break. But the amount of other games that I've been playing recently kind of lends itself to that as well. I've been playing a bit more Terraria. I've really been getting back into Terraria now that I've kind of got a handle on hard mode. So if you guys are Terraria fans and you haven't checked out that series, would love to see what you guys think, because I'm really enjoying it and I'm getting some great tips from everybody. I've decided to kind of stop the spoiler-free way I was playing it before, simply because right now I think I need all the help I can get against some of the harder bosses. So that's a really cool series. I would love it if you guys check that out. So Museum is coming along quite well, I think, and I need to start figuring out where all the exhibits and stuff are going to go. The structure of the rest of the museum is something I haven't really planned out yet, other than there's going to be entrances and exits coming off this way and this way. There's probably going to be a back entrance and a side entrance to the main building itself, like another kind of version of this that isn't so formal, like such a big main entrance, and people can kind of come in from any direction. And I also need to start planning out my own little space in the nether, so we can have a nether exhibit and not tread on anyone's toes when it comes to building stuff in the nether. Because nether building is something that I used to do quite a lot on Xbox. Like, I actually used to start like a little colony there. And on my Patreon server right now, we've actually started building stuff in the End Islands, and it is really fun building there. For a start, the only thing you have to worry about is Enderman, which is okay. For a while, it's a bit of a problem, because if you look at them, then they attack you. So obviously, it's a little bit treacherous at first, but once you get used to not looking at them, you suddenly realize that you can build almost uninhibited. Like, you don't have any creepers, there's no kind of day or night cycle to worry about, so you don't have to worry about stopping stuff spawning, which I sleep so regularly whilst I'm on this server. Like, I pretty much every night comes around, I sleep, just because I don't want stuff spawning near here, and I don't want creepers to turn up by the museum and start wrecking the place. So it's kind of refreshing being able to build in the end, and I kind of want to go back and do something with that, maybe on this server, maybe on a different series. If I bring back my single player series, I might do some building in the end, but the single player series is kind of on hold right now because I don't have time for it, along with all of the other stuff that I'm doing, and I want to save all of my ideas really for this server. The museum is something I considered doing as part of my single player server originally, but then I thought it would be cool to work on it collaboratively with some people, to get people to do exhibits and stuff, which is how come I've saved it for this season of DV. And I can't get up here. I keep trying to find a way around here, but I'm pretty much just going to have to pillar up so I can start this next little patch of the outside wall. Another cool thing that's potentially going to be coming up soon, which I'm really excited about, is me and Mrs. Riffs have decided we are probably going to start a sort of collaborative Stardew Valley game. And there isn't a co-op mode in Stardew Valley yet, but there is going to be at some point. But I think what we're probably going to do is start the series before that, and we'll play the game together. We'll kind of make decisions together. Obviously, only one of us can be at the controls at any one time, but I think what we're going to do is play the game and kind of make decisions together. And the idea I have for it at the moment is that it's going to be like a Let's Play, that once we sort of know what we're doing with Stardew Valley, once we kind of get the hang of things, and it just becomes a bit of a grind for resources, a bit of kind of figuring out what our farm is, or if once we have a couple of tasks that are going to take us a little while, what we're going to do is turn it into more of like a podcast format sort of thing, almost, or at least have the discussion be less about what we're doing in the game and more about us. So what I tend to do with my gameplay commentary is mostly talk about what's going on in the game, which I think a lot of people like. I think a lot of people don't necessarily have a great deal of fun listening to me just ramble on about stuff in my life. I don't tend to do that all that often because I don't think my life is all that interesting necessarily, but it'll be kind of fun to do that with my wife, because we do just kind of talk about stuff off the cuff. We come up with these fun little conversations that I think it would be fun to include you guys in as well. So that's kind of the idea I have going for this Stardew Valley series, but that's not going to be for a while. I haven't actually bought Stardew Valley yet, but I do need to get around to it. It's on my Steam wishlist and everything, but I really want to start a series in that game. I resisted it at first when the initial kind of hype happened around the game, but I've watched a couple of people's series of it, and I really like the look of it. I think it's going to be kind of fun. So progress on the museum is doing pretty well, I think. I might start on the floor off camera and just kind of get some more of that done over the weekend. But that is going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching Decidedly Vanilla. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to discuss in the comments, are you superstitious? Is Friday the 13th something you believe in? Do you think it's bad luck? Do you think it's good luck? Because I know some people do. And I think I do to a certain extent, although today was kind of proving the opposite for me. But I've had a good day, and I think it's only going to get better. So I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. My name has been Pixlriffs. Bye for now.